Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to Freaky Friday, the second Freaky Friday that I've had. It's October, and obviously this is not your normal everyday wearing makeup. I mean, you could, if you really wanted to, wear this for your everyday makeup. Just not my preference. Anyways, this is my take on a vampire. If you want like a sexy vampire, I can do that, but I like the fun, creepy stuff too, okay? This is like the frazzled vampire that slept for like 1,000 years, and she's hungry. She's waking up and she's like, I'm hungry. And she found her first victim, but they tried to put up a fight and it didn't work, and she is still hungry. Her face is cracking. Like, she is just so old and hungry that she just dehydrated. She dehydrated. That's what it is. She is dehydrated, so her face is cracking. Anyways, if you like what I have done here or just want to see how I created it, go ahead and stick around. I'll be completely barefaced and out of vampy mode in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so I have no makeup on whatsoever, and we're going to go ahead and tackle that vampy vampire that you guys saw in the introduction. I'm going to start with the Becca Ever Matte Poreless Priming Perfector. And I'm going to go ahead and put this on all over my face. I've already done my hydration. And yes, I am still shopping my stash, but so there are some things that I have not used before that I'm going to be using on here, and I haven't used for this look before. All right, I just want to let this sit down a little bit, and then we'll get started. We're going to be using, obviously, a lighter color than my skin tone. And if you guys do this type of look, oh, now it's all like melting into my skin. That's really nice. If you guys want to do this look, you can do it pretty much with anything that you have on hand. I just wanted you to be able to grab at a look and achieve it without too much effort. Vampires are very easy to do because everybody has their own interpretation of what a vampire looks like. Just look in the mainstream movies and things like that. There are so many different depictions of what vampires should look like that they, everybody looks different. Wow, and now it's all dried down and it feels so smooth into my skin. Okay, this primer is really cool. That feels so good. And it blurred that's... I'm gonna have to check this out a little bit more. I like that a lot. Put that over here. Go in the main collection. Okay. So what you're gonna want is something that's very full coverage. I have not used this foundation before. And you're gonna put foundation on before you do anything else, okay? Because remember, in this interpretation, I'm just washing out everything first. Now, I have the... Don't come for me. This is the first time I ever used this foundation, okay? This is the Morphe Fluidity Full Coverage Foundation. I have it in 1.5 and 1.12. So I'm not really sure which color is going to be light enough for me. So what I do have is this little plastic mixing tray. And I have 4 small testers. Or this is what I would kind of call testers or things like that. Really, sometimes this is all you really need in your makeup kit or anything like that to change your foundations. Remember, I've said foundations change from season to season throughout the year. I mean, even people like me who don't really have seasons, my skin tone still changes. This is blue and it shifts things to cooler. Orange and then shifts things to warmer. This is yellow, it gives it a golden undertone. And this is white and it lightens. So we're gonna keep the white on hand. These are all by LA Girl. They came in a little package with this little mixing thing, which I liked, and I'm going to keep it on hand because if I don't feel like the foundation is light enough for what I'm going for, then chances are I'm going to need to lighten it. I'm going to go ahead and put 1.5 into the mixing tray, and then I'm right next to it, I'm going to put 1.12 and see. You know what's interesting is these have different names. And you would think maybe 1.12 would be lighter, but that is 1.12, which has more of a pinkier undertone. This has more of a neutral undertone, and it's 1.5. So the 1.5 is actually pretty close to my skin tone. So I'm going to take my mixing agent. And when you put a mixing agent down, you want to put it off to the side and mix in your foundation, because you don't want to put too much and then be stuck with a foundation that just isn't going to work. So I went ahead and moved what I had here and added more, and this is the color I came up with. It's still this fleshy kind of color, a little bit lighter than what my skin tone is, which is really important. There is one consistency in all vampires, is that they have some sort of pale skin. I mean, that's consistent. Their skin is either super, super pale, or their skin is like sort of pale. So going along with that theme, I'm going to go ahead and just bounce this all over my face. I'm taking my Real Techniques face and body sponge. This thing is huge and things get on easily. And I'm just grabbing on to some of that, and I'm just going to start bouncing it all over my face. And I'm bringing it down my neck. That's going to definitely work. I'm going to go ahead and take the Born This Way multi-use complexion powder, and this is in the shade Snow. Go ahead and put this on a Heavenly Luxe It Cosmetics brush, and I'm going to set down everything, taking little areas. Now that everything is set down, we want to go ahead and move towards the eyebrows. And this is where you're really going to get to have some fun with your eyebrows. These are going to just stick up, and I'm going to really fill them in. I'm going to take my Juvia's Place pins, and we're going to go ahead and fill these bad boys in. I'm trying to think which one I want to use first. I have dark brown, ebony, and medium brown. This is a darker look, and you saw in the beginning, it's a darker eye look. So you always want your brows to be able to stand out. I'm going to go ahead and just start with ebony, and then I'm going to use some dark brown and medium brown to fill in as well. Let's get some eyebrows on. Some crazy eyebrows. Okay, now that we have our brows on, let's move into eyes. I've already primed this eye with my primer potion by Urban Decay. I'm going to go ahead and show you how I prime this eye. It's not your normal priming. We're going to go ahead and just prime all over the lid. That's normal, right? But we're also going to do this. Okay. Notice I didn't put on any concealer or anything. Don't need it because of the eye look. The palette we're going to be using today is the Urban Decay Naked Cherry. I guess it's called the Naked Cherry. It's part of their Naked series. It's a cherry version. I have never used this, ever. It's so pretty, and it's exactly the colors that I need for this particular look. And it comes with a little fun brush. Some brushes that some palettes come with are no good, but I really like the Urban Decay ones. And I also like the Smashback ones. There is no rhyme or reason and no good or bad way to do this. This is just the way I do this particular vampire look. I'm going to dip into this color Privacy, which is like a chocolatey brown. And I'm going to use a sponge applicator and put it all over my lid. Laid it down very messy, but that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and take the Urban Decay brush that is in there, and I'm going to dip into this color called Devilish. They're all like wine colors, very just all types of cherries, I guess, with some neutrals. But I'm going to dip into Devilish on this fluffy side and go right over that edges of the brown. Then we're going to just go ahead and fade that up into our brow, right into the base of our brow with a light hand, so it has somewhat of a light gradient look. See how that blends in to the brow? I'm going to go ahead and take the smaller end and dip back into that Privacy color, which we have began with, and I'm going to put it over the lid right here and right here. And I'm also going to hit my lower lash line and connect it all the way back and forth. Very nice. We're going to go ahead and step into Bing, which is the color right next to Devilish. It's another plummy wine cherry color. And I'm going ahead and take this side, and I'm not even worried about cleaning off anything because that's not how this look goes. And I want you to accentuate that bag underneath. Just grab it. See? Just grab it. This look comes together very quickly. Don't worry about that little dot right there. It doesn't really matter. See? You're accentuating all the bad places. This is not a pretty vampire. If you want to go for a pretty vampire, try a different look. I'm not trying to go for a pretty vampire at all. Now I'm dipping back into Privacy. I'm darkening that up. Again, same over here. Privacy, darkening it up. Okay. Then taking the fluffy side and bringing it in. Now, you guys know I don't contour my nose, but today is different. I'm going to contour a lot of things because I want them to look more hollow. I'm taking this color Feels in the same palette. And I'm going right down the edge of my nose, just barely touching the edge of my nose. And I'm going to take that same color and start hollowing out my cheeks. Notice I'm drawing it in somewhat of a triangular type of way. Boom, boom. I'm really taking the hollow of my cheek. Another place you want to hollow out is your temples. Adding some contour to my lips. I'm taking the color Caution right here on a flat brush. Just contouring my lower lip. Just makes it stick out a little bit more. Now, as I put that up, I'm going to take and carefully contour my chin. Remember, I'm trying to hollow out certain areas. I'm using the same color Caution, and touching along my chin. You want it like snatched, like really tight looking. So you're gonna go all the way up to your ear. To do a natural contour, that's what you're gonna wanna do. And again, I'm going into the hollows, the natural hollows of my body.
For the victory lap though. Whoa, whoa, they ain't never seen nothing like this before. Lit the room when I came through the front door. Ask me if I stress overcome, what for? Train in the trees, please pardon my sycamore. Touch burning sands, cross lands and stormy shore seasons in the year, yeah. Ain't no challenge for champions and chain no fear. Yup, the champ is here, switch gears. We keeping haters in the rear. At the blood, sweat, and tears, and my goal so near. I see my victory so clear.
Now I have 3 different liners. This is the one I use for my eyebrows. This is Ebony. This is the tattoo liner by KVD. It's in Trooper Black. And this is the burgundy liner that I did not use the last time I did a video. It is in the Tarte Trio, and it's got the pencil on the end. And then on the other end, it has a pen, which I absolutely love. I'm going to be using these 3 to make those veins that you saw. I'm going to start with the brown. There's no rhyme or reason to these, okay? Now I'm switching over to the burgundy. Now switching over to the Trooper Black KVD. After you've gotten all of your lines drawn and you're happy with that, go ahead and go back into the cherry palette and take a little bit of Feels and Bing and Devilish and kind of just sparsely put it around the areas. After you have that done, we're going to put on the lips. I'm taking 2 colors. This is the CoverGirl Outlast Ultimate, Ultimate is how it's said, Ultimate. And this is in the shade Cabernet with a Bay. And this is the Huda Beauty Alluring Red. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by lining my lips with this darker one and smudging it in. Like I said, you don't have to be cute for this. And I'm just tapping outside. If you think you're gonna wake up looking cute if you've been sleeping for like 1,000 years, I mean, think again, really, you know. And then we're going to go ahead and take the red and put it right here. Here's the interesting part. You're going to take your palette that you used and you're going to take one of these colors, Devilish or Privacy. I'm going to use a little bit of both. And that little palette that you used for your foundation is now going to be your palette for this. Scrape just a little bit off of each. That's what I'm doing. Okay. That's what it looks like in there. And I'm going to take some of this color and wipe it on the edge here. Okay, you see, there's just a little tiny bit. I'm going to do the same with the red. Wipe it right on the edge. Okay. Then you're going to pounce your finger into those colors and then into the powder. Pounce, pounce, pounce. Kind of mix them together and then pounce, pounce, pounce. This gives us the texture right here. I have a little bit of a texture. See? See how it's not as pretty as it was if like easily blended? You don't really want it to be blended. You want it to look like it's dried up. Or at least that's what I go for. Okay, so now we're going to take our Super Shock Shadow in black and we're going to just line the bottom of our eyes in a very messy manner. I'm going to go through and just kind of wiggle across it, adding just a little bit of definition to your eyes, but still without keeping it very pretty. And this is the mascara I used yesterday. It's the Buxom. And I think I am going to not do lashes because I just don't feel like I need lashes for this look. And the lashes that I want to use, I want to do an entire video just on them. Let's spray down. Today I'll be using my Green Goddess Milani Hydrating Facial Mist. We're going to spray this down. This stuff smells really good. I've never used it before. I think you're sensing a theme. But really, that smells really nice. All right, I'll be back with the final look. Okay, so you guys have seen how I created this look, right down to the things on my neck. So yeah, I just styled my hair some and teased it a whole lot because let's face it, we all know I don't have super thick hair. So whenever I have to do photos, I tease my hair up a lot and it gives me a lot of volume. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this really fun Freaky Friday Vampire Edition. If you really liked it, go ahead and give it a little thumbs up or a heart, depending on if you're on IG or if you're on YouTube. Thank you guys so much for watching and have some fun with your makeup. It is really something, especially during Halloween, just mess around with it. It's such a great time to just mess around with your makeup and just have a blast. And as always, makeup can do a whole lot for the outside, but if you're not beautiful on the inside, chances are it's going to show on the outside, even if you're dressed up like a crazy vampire. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Have an amazing day.